need to know. Okay, so she didn't have an advisor for years. She kept asking for one. When she did get the advisor advised her on the wrong classes. So the financial aid and the money that she did have for classes went to the wrong classes. She's been trying to get into this chemistry class that she's supposed to have before she graduates. Mm-hmm. And it was not dropped because of her not making classes, but as she signed up for them, they were dropped. And she was dropped from the classes 3 times already. Mm-hmm. Okay. On top of that, they said that she had to do an internship. She's asked about the internship, and she had everything lined up, and they never got back to her about the internship. Okay. But then they accepted somebody that didn't even have anything set up in the same class, and they let them take the internship or get an internship or whatever they needed to be to graduate. At this point, she has the main reason she came to this college is because she is Indian, and she was like, oh, it's cool, that Pembroke, whatever. Okay. As she missed the Indian cord ceremony. She was supposed to graduate on Saturday. Mm-hmm. People in my family have been this is not nothing concerning you, but for us, dying left and right. I just lost my brother a couple months ago. My daughter was in an accident. She still came to school while she was in an accident. She homeschools her children. She still comes. We all pay. Everybody in the family helps pay for her to make sure that she has childcare while she comes here to school and to make sure she survives. She's been doing everything that she needs to do during the time that she is here. There is and she's been having underlying racism with different instructors and the way that people talk to her and the way that they, and there have been professors that have mocked her as she talked to them. And on all of this, my daughter is not me. She has a totally different personality. She tries to handle things in a different manner, and she is not as boisterous or as I don't know what you would call me, but she doesn't have my personality. She's more laid back, I guess, internally. She takes everything in, and she's very soft spoken. But she is very articulate, and because you've met her, right? But me, I'm not that person. This is wrong. Mm-hmm. Everything that has came along has been wrong. How she's been treated has been wrong. She was so excited to come here. How are you? I don't understand how it is a minority college, right? And then you have so much. Then you have the racism and everything else that's going on within this college. And then my daughter is being penalized. I don't understand this. Can you explain this to me, please?
So I'm sorry that Tasha has not had a good experience at UNCP. We try to make sure that every student has the best possible experience that they can and come away with a good education. I will say, since you're recording this conversation, that I'll just identify myself and my position.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
My name is Scott Billingsley. I'm the Associate Provost and Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, and I have given you permission to record this conversation.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Tasha does not have a FERPA waiver on file with us, and so by law, I'm not allowed to discuss the specifics of.
Did you want me to have her join us? You want me to have her join us? I can.
Well,
do that.
I can't really talk to you about any of this unless that FERPA waiver is on file.
But if she's here,
well, I still need to have that written documentation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. What I can tell you is just generally our policies and procedures. So we have stated on our website, on the commencement website, that students must have fulfilled all the graduation requirements, the course requirements. If there's anything extra like internships or anything like that, they're supposed to have finished those before they're allowed to participate in commencement exercises. We make exceptions for up to 3 credit hours. So, for instance, if a student is missing 1 3-credit class, and they're signed up for that class in the summertime, they may petition the registrar's office, and we generally allow that exception, but not for anything above
3 credits.
3 hours.
I understand that. Yeah. But I also know that when she did come to somebody, they told her that there was a person that would be able to waive whatever that was so that she could walk. And I have the person's name. I'd have to look it up.
Well, that
real
would
quick.
be me.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
And so, but
So-
actually, what the waiver is for up to 3 hours.
Okay, that's what we're.
Yeah.
That's what you're okay.
So
So-
since she's over that threshold, and it's not that we're not allowing her to participate. She is more than welcome to participate in the December commencement exercises if she completes the graduation requirements this summer. The graduation ceremony is precisely that. It's a ceremony. The degree is not actually conferred really until a few weeks from now. The registrar's office has to go through and check all the students who have applied for graduation to ensure that they have fulfilled all those requirements. It is possible that a student may apply for graduation in the spring of 24 and then fail a class in the spring.
So what happens when an advisor advises it gives the wrong information to the students, and then the time allotted and the classes that are taken are not what was needed, and the advisor advises wrongly? How do you handle that? And then with her not having an advisor for a whole year, I mean, is that acceptable?
So again, I can't speak.
No,
to that
I'm just saying in
specifics.
general. I'm
Yeah.
talking in general. Is it acceptable for any student not to have an advisor as they request one for a whole year? Is it acceptable that any person, right, any advisor that tells the students to take the wrong classes, are they not held accountable? That's what I'm asking.
So in terms of advisors, every student is assigned an academic advisor. Usually if they come in as a first-year student, they have a professional advisor in our Center for Student Success, and then by their sophomore, junior years, they're assigned a faculty advisor. Now, I don't actually know what Tasha's specific situation was with her advisor, and so I can't, even if I knew what it was, I can't really speak to it, but I don't even know what that situation was. There is, however, language in our academic catalog that states that students are responsible for ensuring that they are meeting the graduation requirements. And so every student that comes in, they come in under a particular catalog. So if you enter in the fall of 2020, that will be your academic catalog until you graduate. And so all of the requirements for that degree program, whatever program she is in, are outlined in that academic catalog. And every student has access to that. In fact, it's publicly available. You could
Right, but what I'm saying is, what are the advisors, if she's requesting to, not her, let's just say anybody, okay, is requesting an advisor and they're an enrolled student, and then they keep getting pushed from one person to another, and there's like, no, I'm not responsible. How do you handle that?
Usually I work with the deans and the department chairs, and I don't know of very many situations like that, really. I mean, all of our students have an assigned advisor.
And the as far as the catalogs telling you what you're supposed to have to graduate, if the advisor says, well, you need this, does that not count for anything?
The catalog is...
So it doesn't matter what the advisors say, it's by the catalog. So then why are the advisors there?
The advisors are to help.
Right, but if the
They're
advisor
there to
tells you
advise.
that this is the classes you need,
Yeah.
and you take the, let's say just me randomly, just a regular person, and you're my advisor, and you say, okay, you look up my stuff, you say, okay, now I need you to take these classes in order for you to graduate. Are you not held accountable because I followed your advice?
That's all part of every faculty member's annual evaluation.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Are you not held responsible for giving me the wrong information?
And so I'm a member of the history department as well, and I don't currently have an advisee load, but for several years I did. And so with each one of those advisees, I actually kept a checklist. I mean, I was kind of old school. I had pieces of paper.
Yeah, well, I think
and
it's better
files.
old school. I'm old school too.
With files, and I had a checklist. And when a student would enter, the university, I would sit down with them in person, and I would give them a copy of the checklist, and I would have a copy, and we would review it. And the checklist was based on the catalog, the academic catalog. And so I would go through each one of those things and say, okay, here are the requirements, here are the different areas that you need to fulfill. And then for each semester, when they would register for classes, each student has to get a registration PIN number before they can register, and they are supposed to get that from their advisor. And so each student would contact me. Sometimes we would meet in person. Very often we would just do it on email.
Right.
And I would ask them to send me, okay, what's your proposed schedule for the following term? And I would check it against their checklist that I had in my file. And then if I approved, I would send an email back saying, I approved the schedule and here's your pin. Or if I felt like they were taking classes that they didn't need, I would recommend that they take different classes.
Right.
Ultimately, the student gets to determine what classes they take.
Right, but what if you advised the student wrong, and they took several classes that they weren't supposed to?
Yeah.
Then what happens?
Well, I mean, still we follow the academic catalog. That is the final arbiter of a student's progression toward graduation. And so we have to go by what's in the catalog.
No, I understand what you're saying, but what if somebody didn't do that and something got crossed or something? Let's say they ended up advising from something. Let's say they didn't do it old school and they just said, okay, well, I think whatever in their mind, I think you need this, and then they tell them to take these classes and they don't need them.
Yeah.
Then what?
I haven't been faced with that. Most of our advisors, make sure that they follow the plan of study, the catalog that's in the catalog.
And then how does it happen that when you do have, let's say you're an assigned advisor or whatever, and then they say, oh well, I'm not your advisor anymore. What happens when you don't have any other information and you're asking, well, are you my advisor? Are you my advisor? What happens? How does it get lost for a year?
Yeah. Typically, that goes to the department chair, and so the department chair works with their faculty in assigning advisees, and so generally what happens is, for instance, if a professor leaves the university, they get a job somewhere else, then all of their advisees would transition to another professor, and the department chair handles that process.
Okay, that paper that you were saying about the about permission, can I get a copy of that? And then
it's online.
Okay.
So Tasha will need to fill that out.
Okay,
she'll have to do that.
What is it?
If you go to the registrar's website,
I'm discarding.
And it's called the FERPA waiver, FERPA. I can't remember. Federal Education and Privacy Act, I think is what it's called.
All right. So even if she came in here, if I came with her, she would still need that paper signed? Even if she's physically in front of me?
When I talk to anybody other than the student, I require that waiver to be signed, so we have a documentation of it.
Even if she's sitting right here, right?
When I talk to you,
okay,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so if she goes online and fills this out, we can come back. Well, see, this is what I don't understand. She's supposed to be graduating tomorrow. Even if everything goes through, the people that have been supporting her all this time, you have a job. You have to give notice. I mean, how it's upsetting.
Yeah, I understand.
And she was so excited to come here, and then she got hit with all of this. It's not right.
Well, again,
I understand.
She's allowed to participate in commencement, but it will need to be in a future commencement exercise.
Okay. So she fills it out online, then we can both come back later on today. So she can fill it out now, and then you'll be available for us to talk to?
I will try to be. So I am actually in charge of commencement, and we have graduate commencement this evening. So my schedule
Which my daughter should have been harder, right?
My schedule is pretty tight today, but I will try to, if you can arrange that, contact Alicia Giles. She's in the provost office. And my name is Scott Billingsley.
Okay.
And so she would be able to.
She's gonna fill it out. She's gonna fill it out right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna call her. She's in the library.
Okay.
She will fill this out right now, and then if we need to, we will come and we will sit and wait for you to be able to see us, because this needs to be taken care of. Today,
Okay.
and we need to come to some sort of understanding moving forward, because I don't want to go. I don't want to make this a big thing, but this is my child, and that's a big thing.
I understand. I have 2 kids myself, one in college right now. So I
Yeah, because
understand
all of us. I mean, she has my son-in-law. He's a lawyer in DC. He's been helping her. You know, I've been helping her. Everybody's been helping her get to this point. And we need to come to some type of information at this point.
Okay. So yeah, once that is complete, have her contact Alicia, and Alicia will try to find some time for us to meet. The time will be limited. I'll go ahead and just kind of tell you that, probably 30 minutes, because I have several.
Yeah,
things
we still. You're right, but we
yeah.
still need to address it. You know, and I want me, you, and her to address it.
That's fine. Yeah, be happy to.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.